Okay, so I think we can start now. So a very warm good morning to everyone, our speakers and attendees to this webinar that is designed and developed with regards as a preparation to the forthcoming EU South Med Matchmaking Event that is taking place in June. Before going through the agenda, I would like to introduce you the housekeeping crew. The webinar will be recorded and will be published on the European Cluster Collaboration platform, together with all the materials. The webinar is scheduled to last 1 hour. All participants are in listening mode. And please, if you'd like to raise a question, use the Q&A box. So without further delay, I will quickly go through the agenda for today. We will have a short welcoming remarks. Then we will go back and hear a quick overview and testimonials of the past editions of the EU South Med Matchmaking events. Then we will progress with a market access session. We will have a presentation of Africa IP SME Help Desk. As well as the event, the matchmaking event will be in the context of Egypt Infrastructure and Water Expo and the Big Five Construct Expo. We will have a presentation from the Expo's director. And after that, we will conclude with the next steps towards the matchmaking event. So without further delay, we will start with the welcome and opening remarks. And it's a great pleasure to me to pass the floor to Christophe Guichard from the DG GROW, the European Commission. Christophe, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Theodora, and good morning to everyone. I'm Christophe Guichard from DG GROW, the European Commission, and I'm really pleased to address this info webinar with short opening remarks. Our event this morning shall give you some background information to help you to prepare for our upcoming matchmaking event with South Med countries. And this matchmaking event will be the fourth event we organize with the region, together with the support of my colleagues in DG MENA. So I'm really pleased to welcome all of you from across Europe to participate to this new edition that will be held this time in Cairo in Egypt from the 16th to the 18th of June. The event will take place in the context of two major international exhibitions, the Egypt Infrastructure and Water Expo and the Big Five Construct Egypt, which both will offer many different networking opportunities. This session this morning will start with some guidance on how to access the market and collaborate with South Med countries. It will also give you some general overview on how to deal with IPR issues in this market, and you will receive practical information on your participation in the two trade shows that will host us to take full advantage of all collaboration opportunities in Cairo. I would like to thank our counterparts, including the Federation of Egyptian Industries, the Euromed Cluster Forward initiative and its team from ANIMA, the Africa IPR SME Help Desk, and of course the ECCP for working all together to make this matchmaking event a success. The main objective for this event is to help European and South Med clusters and companies to create new trade and investment links and business partnerships. I want to stress that the European Commission is keen to be a facilitator of this process. The EU is the largest trader and one of the most open economies in the world. This matchmaking event intends to provide increased market access for your businesses and to make sure companies can benefit successfully from the trade opportunities with South Med partners. South Med markets can be an opportunity for European businesses. For example, to diversify sources of supply, to bring production closer to the consumption, and thus reduce the environmental impact. I would like to remind you that the participation to this matchmaking event is still open and European clusters and SMEs can still apply to participate if they wish until the 20th of May. Now, to come back to our event this morning, I trust that this info webinar will be the beginning of successful business contacts and cooperation. We have prepared a very dense program with site visits, informal gatherings, and participation to the trade show. And I encourage you to take all opportunities to network and matchmake with COSME partners during this 3-day mission. Thank you very much, and I wish you a successful mission in Cairo.
Thank you very much, Christoph, and I'm joining you of thanking our partners all that been working over the last months of preparing not only this webinar, which is the starting point, as you highlighted, for the successful matchmaking mission in Cairo, but the overall mission itself. And I had a pleasure, now I'm having the pleasure of introducing Sarah Busaidi from the Anima Investment Network. And also it's been a great pleasure over the last 3 years. I've been working on, now this is our 3rd occasion of working together. So Sarah, without delay, the floor is yours, and thank you very much for the great partnership.
Thank you, Theodora. I will share my screen now.
Yes, please.
Can you see my screen?
Not yet. Yes, now it's good. Yes.
So thank you, Theodora. Thank you, ECCP, the European Commission, the Big Five Constraint, FEI, all the partners involved in the organization of this great event, the matchmaking event. On my side, my name is Sarah Boussaidi. I'm the project coordinator of Euromed Cluster Forward, and I'm representing Anima. So who is Anima? We are basically an association working for economic development in Europe, Middle East and Africa that is aligned with the challenge of social and environmental responsibility. We are based in Marseille, France, and we have 3 main objectives. The first one is to engage countries in cooperation, improve the performance and promote companies that create value. And we gather basically 70 members that are mainly entrepreneurs, investment agency among the Mediterranean area. We are also the coordinator of the Euromed Cluster Forward, which is the biggest project of DG MENA, the biggest, like the regional division of the Commission Européen, the European Commission. So the main aim of Euromed Cluster Forward is to strengthen clusters and their members by promoting inclusive innovation, competitiveness in the Euromed region in order to improve growth, economic diversification and sustainable development. The project started in 2022 and it will end in 2026, October 2026. We have a budget up to 7.7 million euro, and the scope is mainly 7 countries in Middle East and North Africa, so Algeria, Egypt, Jordan, Lebanon, Morocco, Palestine and Tunisia. And we will bring a delegation from these countries to matchmaking event. So we are co-organizer of the Tech Days matchmaking events with the ECCP. And so far we have organized different matchmaking events. The first one was in Malta, the second one was in Marrakesh during the GITEX in 2023. The third one was in Frankfurt last year during AKEMA Fair. We are currently organizing a tech day in Lebanon. Beirut. We will organize in cooperation with the ECCP, the MED Matchmaking Event Cairo, and I can say it's a great event. It's the first step to have a great collaboration. So far, we have been able to facilitate more than 230 B2B meetings. And we will organize another matchmaking event in Tunis in November. Last but not least, I would like to highlight a funding opportunity for clusters in Europe and in collaboration with the SMEs clusters. So it's called Cluster Business Connect, and it's basically a project, a funding aiming at creating new collaboration between clusters and forging regional value chains in the Euromed region. So basically we encourage, we support 8 months matchmaking and training between at least 2 clusters from Europe and SMEs region. And the collaborations are funded up to 30,000 euros or 45,000 euros in case of collaboration between 3 clusters. I think this call is important to know while being at the matchmaking event in Cairo, in case you have a shared interest with clusters from the SMEs area, it could be a good follow-up. Thank you all for your attention. And again, the Tech Days and matchmaking events are always a first step for great opportunities of collaboration. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Sarah. I would like once again to highlight that all the information that we are sharing today will be uploaded on the European Cluster Collaboration Platform. We will send the links, as well as if you have questions, what just Sarah presented, that call will be also, information on that call will be also uploaded on the ECCP, and you can get in direct contact with more information if you have questions and interested. I will briefly present you. You've already heard from Christoph and Sarah about the past events. I would not take long, but after COVID, we have event together in Marrakesh, and also we have another event, as Sarah mentioned. Last year we had the EU South MED Matchmaking Event in Frankfurt. Yes, this is pictures. You see pictures from the Marrakesh as well as the Frankfurt. And the number of meetings that were held, and those 2 events had a great success, and we are really looking forward of another successful event, and you'll just hear testimonials from participants in a video format from the past events. I think the sound is not working. It might be a technical issue as the sound is not working, but of course, as mentioned, we will, this would be also, the video will be also included in the materials that we will share. We will also send you the materials from the past events, so you can read in details what other clusters have done in the past. And now we continue with the next part of this info webinar with the market access information session. And I'm pleased to give the floor to Jan-Philipp Kramer, our colleague from the ECCP consortium, as well as head of EU services at Prognos. So Jan, the floor is yours.
Yes, good morning, everybody. Great pleasure to be here. I will try to set the scene a little bit for your activities. I think based on the ongoing exchanges and as was mentioned by Christophe, this being the fourth event, even around a matchmaking. Some things may be known to you already, but at the same time, I think it's very important, especially in these days in which also the business development and the trade relations become more important, that we have a clear foundation also what we're talking about. So I will be talking about the economic profile, some trade analysis and focus areas, and then I will finish with a view into the cluster ecosystem in the South Med region. And as you can already see here on this chart, as a kind of warm-up and introduction, looking at the economic foundations of the South Med region, we overall speak about a GDP volume of 1.5 billion euros in 2022. So it is a significant market. It's also a market with quite different sizes, as you can also see in the overall context, with Israel standing at around 500 billion here, and the population size obviously being rather low with 9 million people, followed by Egypt with more than 100 million people. And then we have Algeria, Morocco, that come around 40 million, 45 million people overall. I think this is quite important just as a background. It's also important to understand the economic differences, but the main focus, and this is what I would like to talk mostly about, is about the business potential. And this is why we look at the trade patterns at a closer look. And if we do that, and we move to the next slide, please, you can see that from the trade perspective, Morocco becomes a very central partner for the EU. It's among the list of 21st largest trade partners for Europe overall. We also have, from the other side speaking, the EU being a very central trade partner to some of the economies, obviously. And this relates to Tunisia and Egypt, for instance, which make significant trade volumes when looking at the overarching picture. And if you look at these two charts on the right-hand side of the slide, you can see that breakdown by countries. So we look at the top 10 trading partners for the South Med countries, from imports from the South Med region to the EU, and exports to the South Med region from the EU. And if you look at this, I think it's also interesting, maybe also depending on where you're coming from today and what's your home country, that we see on the import side from the South Med region a quite strong concentration among the more southern European member states, Italy, parts of France then, and Spain, making up 60% of the import volume, so around 80 billion euros of the 135. And I think this is very interesting also in terms of intensity of trade relationships. And when you look at the exports from the to the South Med region from Europe, you see that again we will have Italy, France, and Spain there, but also the very export-oriented German economy as being central there. And also worthwhile to note, if you just look at the total volume here, we talk about an import from the South Med region to the EU of 135 billion and an export volume of 126. So quite interesting also to see this relation. Let's take a look at the clusters. Indeed, we also have data which is quite useful to understand what are target markets for the European clusters who are registered on the European Cluster Collaboration Platform. So we looked at this in particular for the South Med region. Again, you can see that we have some concentration that is quite nicely also interrelated with the economic ties and interests. So this is aligned in a way. We have Israel, we have Morocco, Egypt, Tunisia, Algeria, with quite high numbers of clusters that are interested in developing business in these markets. And if you look at Israel and Morocco, in fact, by the number themselves, and we put that into a global picture. So asking cluster organizations from the ECCP side, which are the top global markets, then Israel and Morocco are among the top 15 target markets for cluster organizations. And I think that shows you quite interest, and Egypt is not far away from that. So also in view of your activities at the conference there. Now deep diving a bit more into the trade data on the next slide, we can see that there are specific patterns, of course, when looking at this. And here we can really look into the traded goods in more detail, which is helpful. We can see that on the import side, from the South Med countries to the EU, we have a lot of minerals, right? Minerals and related materials, lubricants, which are quite dominating the import segments. We have also some machinery being imported from South Med countries to the EU27, and then other manufactured articles that come still at 11.7 billion euros. You would also expect, of course, food products. They're also here on the list that come by 8.5 billion overall, and other related materials that I can't go into now. So this is the one side of the story, and then also from the export side, from the EU27 itself. We have a stronghold here in the machinery sector, again, also other manufactured goods and chemicals. So also foundations, I would say, for economic development in the South Med countries, and matching as well the distinct specialization patterns if you compare this on an overarching point. All that, of course, doesn't happen in a vacuum, and therefore it's important also to look at the different agreements that have been made in the past. And you can see there are a number of EU trade agreements, so on a overarching level, but also a number of trade liberalization that is happening in the countries, with the countries in negotiation with the EU. And this is just an attempt to give you an overview of the most important ones that are creating the framework condition to increase trade, but also to increase business development jointly. So as an overarching pillar here, obviously, is the EU-Mediterranean Partnership, which is aiming for a shared free trade area. This is quite overarching, I would say, and embedded or linked to a number of additional pillars that you can see here on the slide. We have a number of association agreements with the South Med countries. We have some specific agreements on trade and EU integration with the Agadir Agreement. We have the European Neighborhood Policy as a cooperation framework with the Southern Neighborhood countries. And last but not least, we have an engagement in deeper and comprehensive free trade areas, which go also beyond tariff elimination, a term that, if you speak it nowadays, rings another tone in your ears in a way. But this is, I think, just setting the framework for a closer economic integration. And if you look at these kinds of things, they come with a number of details. They come in details what types of goods and areas of the economy are affected by this, and this is more visible also here on the right hand side, where I think one can say There's some great advancement with Morocco, Tunisia, and Egypt in a number of areas, including industrial goods, but also in terms of agricultural goods and the trade that is happening in this space. And then with Jordan, Algeria, and Lebanon, the progression is a bit more targeted, or also trade liberalization is a bit slower than in other cases. So we have a bit nuanced picture still in this regime of trade, but overall, I think the progress is there, and also showing in a bit in the data that I've just presented to you a few minutes ago. And all that brings me back to our clusters, and we tried to provide a comprehensive picture of the cluster ecosystem, given that the business development and also the increasing links between our economies, the increasing links between SMEs that are interested to develop business, SMEs that are interested to collaborate, is facilitated very nicely through the work of cluster organizations. I think it's helpful for both sides to have a good understanding of this cluster landscape. And as you can see, we have a quite, I think, elaborated system by now that has been developing over the last decade, more or less. And you see, I would say, a sort of concentration in this portfolio. You see the number of agri-food clusters. You see also, if you want more on the classical industries, ones that are related to textile or creative industries, but it's also, I think, noteworthy that we have more tech-oriented clusters as well, such as ICT and digital industries. And I think not to forget also the importance of energy development provision, as we know is a very central topic also for the EU overall. If you look by country, you can see that that's maybe also a bit relating to the status of development, but also the support that is given. We have quite large numbers in Tunisia, Morocco, and Egypt, and then a smaller number of organizations that can be addressed. And I think it's also an invitation to address these and meet these clusters in the event. And to just maybe give two, three flavors here. When looking at these cluster ecosystem, as I said, it's a broad spectrum of sectors. So you will find clusters in Egypt, for instance, Egypt for Industry, which looks at the promotion of Industry 4.0 in manufacturing, so quite advanced things. You will also find a leather cluster, so also based on the maybe more traditional industries that have been developing. And the same goes for other countries. In Morocco or Jordan, we find similar examples, which I think it's a good point, as I said, for you to connect. And with this, I would like to close my intervention with three final remarks. I think we have seen already that the economic landscape is diverse, and we have different sizes of economies and countries, obviously. So a particular look is necessary. We do see that there is already some trade activity ongoing with a slightly higher import volume from South Med to the EU than export volume. We have seen that there are a number of trade agreements that help us to intensify trade and economic ties, and that hopefully will progress. And last but not least, as I just said, we do have a growing cluster landscape in the South Med region, and we already heard some examples before. And I think this is also a very helpful information for you to actually develop the ties that we're looking for. So thanks a lot for your attention, and I wish you all the best in the event in June.
Thank you very much, Jan. Maybe just 1 second before you go. I think maybe you can give information. You're working currently on the input paper for Egypt, which I believe we will be able to share early June, if I'm not mistaken. So just if you can update me on that.
I can confirm that. So we will try to give you a bit more detailed information in that paper. Some of the information that I gave today, accompanied with the lists of the clusters and so on. So it's a framework, but it's also practical, and we hope it's useful for your preparation.
Thank you once again. I think for everyone, this information that you have shared is extremely important in the preparation for the forthcoming matchmaking event. As shared earlier, we will share with you this presentation. You can find it on the European Cluster Collaboration platform, as well as once the input paper is ready, also will be shared with all participants. So thank you once again, Jan. And we will continue now with the presentation from the Africa IP SME Help Desk. We have here today Andrea Iori. So please, Andrea, join me on the floor, and the floor is yours for your presentation.
Thank you. Wait. I think you can see my screen and you can hear me well. So thank you for inviting me to present in this webinar, to present the project Africa IP SME Help Desk. I work for the European Union Intellectual Property Office, that is a European agency responsible for the registration of European Union trademarks and designs. And we also deal with international cooperation projects in the field of intellectual property. So this project, the Africa IP SME Help Desk, is part of a bigger program that is called AFRIPI, Intellectual Property Rights and Innovation in Africa, that is co-financed by the European Commission and the European Union Intellectual Property Office. And it, of course, deals with several components, but one specifically is dedicated to SMEs. So that's the reason why I'm here today and why we are talking about intellectual property. So first of all, we refer to intellectual property. Basically, it's just creation or invention, design, symbols, artistic works, basically everything we can refer to intangible assets of human intellect. And being intangible is difficult, especially for SMEs, to understand their value. So this is just a slide to give you an overview of the main types of intellectual property, to put things into context, and also why it is so important for small companies, because basically IP is a key business asset. It gives you exclusive rights. You can use your IP and have these rights for distribution, and then you, of course, can defend your business interests through IP. The Africa IP SME Help Desk is specifically dedicated to SMEs. This is what the European Commission defines as an SME. So to be eligible for our services, an SME has to have less than 250 staff, maximum 50 million turnover, or a maximum 43 million balance sheet. It has to be an individual firm. Based on that, we can go into the details of what the Africa IP SME Help Desk is. So it's not only about Africa. Actually, the European Commission, DG GROW, finance also other help desks around the world. We have the Latin America, the European, of course, the India, the China, the Southeast Asia, and the Africa. This is the one that we are going to discuss about today. But the services that we provide are common for the whole help desks. But this is a screenshot of the website. So you see that we are operating on the European Commission website. And now let's start by describing what we do and what we can offer to companies that are interested in IP and Africa. So basically, the Africa IP SME Help Desk provides 3 services. We have a helpline that is basically us answering to queries and requests from companies and stakeholders interested in IP and Africa. We have a website that I showed you just before this slide with many IP materials that are downloadable for free. And we also are very active in the field of events and training organization. So let's dig into these three services to explain what we do concretely. So the helpline, that is our, let's say, star product, it's the way we answer to queries from companies interested in intellectual property and Africa. It's a free of charge IP support, first line. If you send us an email or if you chat with us or if you call us, we will reply within maximum 3 working days, and we operate in 5 European working languages, English, French, Spanish, German, and Italian. And of course, it's a confidential service. We evaluate the different types of IP rights and we can provide some advice and suggestion on what could be your IP strategy to follow in a specific country or context across the African continent. What we are not is basically legal support, so we cannot be your lawyer to file your trademark application, basically, but we can provide advice, and it's for free. So before you go for registration of any IP rights, you can always call us or send us an email, and we can advise what's the best strategy for you, and we can discuss if there are any other options for your company. Then the second service, there's a QR code here if you would like to scan it that leads you to our website. They are basically all the documents that we publish on our webpage. We have country and sector fact sheets for the whole continent, specifically by country and also by organization. Of course, on the Northern Africa, also we have specific country sectors on the Maghreb region. We have many IP guides that are more specific than country fact sheets, meaning a country fact sheet is just a description of the IP system in any African country, while an IP guide is more specific. For example, trademarks in Morocco, patent validation system in Tunisia, etc. We also have published several case studies that allows you to read real stories of company operating on a continent and to understand how they approach some challenging situations and how they reacted in specific circumstances relating to IP. And of course, we have training modules that are available on our website, again, in the form of webinar that can be watched and downloaded. So this is the amount of materials that we have on our website. So there are a lot, and I really invite you to have a look, because they are, again, for free and available to anyone who's interested in this. And these are examples of what we offer. For example, on the left side, it's a case study on a patent validation system in Tunisia, while on the right side, a guide on IPR protection in Egypt. So you can see that it's very practical. Case studies are very short, of course. Guides are a little bit longer, but they are written in a way that can be easily understood by non-technical people. And then the third and last service, it's also very important. It's something that we're already doing today with this webinar. We organize many trainings and events in the field of awareness raising, like the one we're having today, just to tell people that we exist and that they should use our services because they are for free, and they are. We have IP lawyers available to answer to queries for free to companies that are interested in our work. But we also organize training sessions more specific on IP, based on the interest of companies that asks for information. It could be on a specific country. It could be, for example, we had several webinars on Northern Africa. We had it on Morocco. We had it on Egypt. We'd also attend matchmaking events. We were last month in Marrakesh for the GITEX event. but we attend also events in Europe focusing on IP and Africa, on innovation. We also contact with the business support organizations. So for example, if any of you need a specific training on IP, you can contact us and we can organize a dedicated training session for your employees, for example, or for your stakeholders or for your contacts. So it's something can be discussed, and again, it's for free. So this is what we basically do. Our outreach, many promotion and matchmaking events, over almost 70 training events organized, more than 2,000 stakeholders reached. So we're very active, and I truly invite you to get in contact with us. These are our contacts. I will also share them in the chat because I think it's very relevant for companies and business support organizations and clusters that are interested in innovation and intellectual property to exploit what the European Union puts at your disposal. So thank you very much for your time. I will just stop sharing.
Thank you very much.
Give the floor back to Teodora. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Andrea. Yes, we found this very useful during the last years as trying to include such information prior any of the international matchmaking events that we are organizing during the last few years on behalf of the ECCP. So as said earlier when preparing the agenda, but also presenting previous events, always our international matchmaking events, they are in a context of big events, and we are pleased of having this event in the preparation in a great collaboration with the Egypt Infrastructure and Water Expo, as well as the Big Five Construct Expo. And with a great pleasure, we are having the event director, Mamdouh, here. So Mamdouh, the floor is yours for presenting, speaking, for giving some insights about the Expo.
Thank you, Teodora. Good morning, everyone, and it's a real pleasure to meet you, and looking forward to meeting you all next month during the show. If I would like to give an introduction about myself and also the company that I work for. So as Teodora mentioned, my name is Mamdouh Al-Gohari, and I'm the event director for Big Five Construct Egypt and Egypt Infrastructure and Water Expo. I work for DMG Events. It's a global exhibitions organizing company. Our headquarters are based for the MENA region, are based in Dubai, and we are owned by the Daily Mail General Trust Company in the UK. We organize many events worldwide, and I'm handling the Cairo office in the construction sector. I'm sure, and after all the presentations from the gentlemen and ladies previously, look, Egypt is a very, very promising country and the South Mediterranean part. And I would like to take 10 minutes of your time just to go through the presentation that I'm sharing, which is about the promising construction and Egyptian market, in the Egyptian market here. Our show is Big Five Construct Egypt. It has been up and running for the past 7 years. So this edition is the 7th, and it's happening alongside with a co-located show that we've launched in 2023 called Egypt Infrastructure and Water Expo. So our event is under the patronage of His Excellency Dr. Mustafa Mabouli, the Prime Minister of the Arab Republic of Egypt, which shows the importance of the show and the market as well. And our event is fully supported by the Egyptian Armed Forces Engineering Authority, which supervise many of the major big projects in the country as well. So this is what you will see. Again, last year was the 6th edition. This is just a testimonial from Knauf, one of the leaders in the gypsum boards from Germany that participated on our show. This slide is showing the exhibitor insights, which is very promising for our exhibitors, that 92% made business in the show, 91% are satisfied, and 81% are likely to come back in 2025. The visitors as well, the minimum we have is a 90%, which is a very good number compared to events worldwide. Egypt is, the Egyptian market is a very promising one, with 570 billion US dollars in the construction market and around $400 billion in the water and infrastructure sector. So we're talking about almost $1 trillion worth of projects, some of the major key projects that are happening in the country: the $55 billion new administrative capital, 35 billion Ras Al Hikma, which is in the north coast, which is happening with the UAE, and $5 billion, which is the new Alamein city, also by the Mediterranean, by the north coast of Egypt. What will we expect, and what will you expect to see this year? Our event is happening on a course of 20,000 square meters, 2 full exhibition halls, around 350 plus exhibiting companies, and 20 plus exhibiting countries. And also we have not only an exhibition, but also have an exhibition and 2 theaters in each hall. One of them is talking about the Big 5 technology talks, and the other one is talking about the water and the infrastructure sectors. So we do have a free of charge talks for anyone to attend. We have around 100 plus speakers and 40 plus hours of content. The countries, we have country pavilions this year from Germany, from Italy, from Turkey, from China, and also we have companies from Poland, from Singapore, from Thailand, and from Malaysia, and other countries as well, and India, of course, and Saudi and the UAE. These are the show sectors for the Big 5. So anything related to the construction, which is the building materials, solar, HVAC, construction and PPE, digital construction, windows, doors, facades, mechanical and electrical and plumbing, etc. Of course, these are almost 9 sectors, plus the sectors that we have in the Egypt Infrastructure and Water Expo, which is as well the solar, the water, the urban connectivity, and the infrastructure. And this is where you will find the top companies that are sponsoring the show this year. Hassan Alam Holding is one of the largest contractors in the world. They are our platinum and lanyard sponsor for this year. Orascom Construction is also a world leading contractor and one of the biggest in the world. They are our gold sponsor. Tabreed, one of the also key players in the HVAC from the UAE, are also our silver sponsor, and ICC is one of our session sponsors. And we're still working on other big names such as Arab Contractors, etc. These are some of the stakeholders that attended last year. As you can see, very big names, starting from developers such as Amara and Mountain View, to Concord Engineering, to DAR, to Tatweer, to Orascom. Even the Suez Canal Authority have been there, the Arab contractors. And so you'll find a mix and match of all the construction, the contractors, also the engineering consultants group, and also the big contractors and developers in the industry. These are also part of the exhibitors that participated last year, starting from Bauer from Germany, to Fresh from Egypt, to Knauf, to KTI, to Ozok Steel from Turkey, to Topwerk from Germany as well, to Habi, Nasha Paints from the UAE and Jordan, Mape from Italy and Egypt. So a lot of the Manarat Al Omran, one of the largest scaffolding companies in the world. And they're also coming this year with their new system that they're introducing. So again, you'll find everyone. Our event is the most influential event happening in Egypt, and the largest construction event happening in the region as well, and in Egypt. And when I'm talking Egypt, I'm talking about the North Africa part. Egypt is part of Africa, but also part of the Middle East. So our event is one of the key events happening in the region. These are also some of the countries that we had for last year and also coming this year: Belgium, China, Cyprus, and Denmark, UK as well, UAE, Turkey, and South Korea, Italy, Pakistan, Kenya, and of course India, Greece, and Germany, and Egypt. We have a CPD certified talks, which is, again, this is how it's going to look like. It's not a summit or a very technical thing, but again, it's open conference and open talks, so anyone can attend. And basically, as you can see, it's casual talks. We're also, as European South Med delegation, you will have a benefit of 1 hour presentation. This will be liaised, of course, with Theodora at a later stage. So let's say if we have 20 companies that will be there, we would be able to give you a 1 hour for each company to introduce themselves and why they're coming to Egypt. And this also, I think, will be really good for PR reasons and awareness. So we will be able to give you an hour in the Egypt Infrastructure and Water Expo stage, or the Big 5. This will be liaised by our conference producer and Theodora as well, and to be discussed later on. This is, as I was explaining, that our Big 5 show is co-located with EWI, Egypt Infrastructure and Water Expo, which is covering the urban connectivity, the water, the waste, the power plant infrastructure, communications, and smart cities as well. And last year, we had a lot of things that are happening again this year. We had an international delegation. You're part of these delegations. We also get delegations from Africa. And also last year we had a delegation from the UK, which are coming back through the Egyptian British Chamber of Commerce as well. And also we do have something called Bukra Innovators, which is we specialize the last day of the show for students to come and understand, because the students are the youth and they are the future of the major projects in the country. Not only that, but we have a very, very strong PR arm that we work with internally here. And last year, our event was showcased and aired on all the major TV channels and also media outlets online. And these are campaigns that we reach millions of digital campaign reach, emails sent, the amount of social media reach. And the reason I'm showing this is also we're always promoting for the delegation. And later on, once we have a confirmation of who will be attending from your side as a delegation, we'll also, sorry, we'll also be promoting this on social media. So also this will help you to meet with potential clients and also potential attendees from the government, from ministries, etc., and also contractors, and also for anyone from Egypt to already start liaising meetings with you on site during the show. Also, we would love, the show is happening on the 17th of June. That's the first day. So the show is 17, 18, and 19th. I know that you will be coming on the 17th. Also, the dates and the timings will be agreed on later on, but we will have a special tour assigned for the delegation. We will agree on it later on based on the companies that you'd like to meet. And also, this is something that we'll work on. And on the 18th, you also will have the 1 hour session to introduce yourselves as companies. And also, you can have a free tour on your own for the 2 holes to see whatever companies that you'd like to meet with. And if anyone that you find on our website interesting, let me know and I'll be able to introduce you to them on site as well. What we do to promote our show in general, we work on email invitations, social media promotion, email signature, PR support, and a wish list. And a wish list is for whoever you want to see, we'll be able to help you with that. We also use this, but this is mainly for our exhibitors, lead retrieval apps to make sure that whenever they meet are updated all the time. These are also part of our Big 5 cluster events. So in Dubai, Nigeria, Qatar, Kenya, Saudi, Ethiopia, South Africa, and of course, Egypt. That's it. Thank you so much for your time. And I hope the information was useful to you all. And I'm really looking forward to meeting you very soon in Egypt.
Thank you very much, Mamdouh, for this presentation.
Thank you, Theodora.
For the collaboration so far. We are all looking really forward of being on site and taking the best out of those events. As you mentioned, we will have a chance to explore the events, and we have a lot of scheduled. We are planning the participation in the best possible way. So now we are going towards the next steps towards the matchmaking event, as a brief from what was just presented from the event director. So I will quickly go through the next steps, and after that we'll give the floor to our partners from the Federation of Egyptian Industries that are helping us a lot for all the plannings, as well as engaging with local participants. As the next steps, we will be so currently today, we have with us participants from the EU side that already have been selected, and they have confirmed their participation, as well as we have some participants attending this info session to understand whether this event is for them. So we really hope that you found the information very useful, and you can take the opportunity to apply still under the open call for expression of interest. As Christophe Guichard mentioned earlier, it will the last day to apply under the third cutoff date is the 20th of May. So overlooking the agenda, if we can see, so as you know, probably looking the information on the website, and for those that have already applied under the call, the mission, the EU South Med Matchmaking Event, will take place on the 16th, 17th, and 18th of June. On the 16th is our, let's say, matchmaking day, where with all the participants from all the South Med countries, as well as obviously including the local participants from Egypt. Via Bit2Match, you will have a chance to schedule the meetings. We will have a small seminar program, as well as a pitching session between you, where you will have another chance to understand what are the different organizations are doing and how you can be more productive in the meeting, as well as facilitate the collaboration between different organizations. On the 17th of June, we will have site visits. The colleagues from the Federation, the Egyptian Federation, will give more details very shortly. And as well as Mamdouk just said, we will visit the expos, the two expos, where after we will conclude the overall delegation, we will have a guided tour. You will visit the dedicated stands. And then on the 18th of June, we will start with more site visits on the premises of the Egyptian Federation of Industries. Again, another plant study to an incubator, and then we'll continue of visit to the two expos, as well as we will have a pitching session. What just has been said, we will have 1 hour on the stage of the expo, where you will, when the selected organizations will be able to present their work, what they are looking for. We have done such a thing, activities in the previous matchmaking international events, and this is working really, really well, especially at such big events, to find even further potential partners. So to conclude, what you will hear from us in the forthcoming days, if we can go on the next page, we will, for the EU delegation, we will create a LinkedIn group that we will share as well as materials, and during the days of the event, we will share practical aspects. So we will send you the link so you can join the event. You can join the group. For those that are still considering their participation and haven't applied under the open call, please do so after the up to 20th of May. If you have some questions, if you in order to take a decision, you can always email us, and we will respond in a way to really help you to take your decision. For those that have been selected, we will activate and are already part of the delegation. We will activate your profiles in Bit2Match, so you can start filling in with more information, use the marketplace, create your offers and needs. We will send you information about the pitching sessions. You heard that there will be 2 pitching sessions during our matchmaking day as well, but as well as the session that is that we will jointly create with the event director, so we can present you in the best possible way. So please, when you please monitor your emails, because there will be information coming from our sites. And on the 27th of May, the time will be confirmed. We are planning to have the technical webinar. For those that have been participating previously in our matchmaking events, you know that the technical webinar we will give, during the technical webinar, we give practical aspects on Bit2Match. Many of you are well familiar. You have been participating in such matchmaking events, not only organized by the ECCP, but other events, so you are familiar, you have your profiles. But on that specific day, we will be together with the confirmed participants from the SouthMed delegation. So this would be a chance once again to repeat and to give you some details how to create your profiles in the best possible way, so it is clear and you can schedule your meetings. And I'm really pleased now, going further, to give the floor to our partners from the Federation of Egyptian Industries that can present themselves. Rania will present herself, and as well as the Federation, and give even more insights on our joint initiative. So Rania, really, I'm very pleased. The floor is yours. Yes, we hear you.
You hear me? Did you see the presentation? Yes, still
Yes,
okay.
yes, now, yes, now we see. So maybe you can go on full screen mode, but
Okay.
okay.
Mm. It's not working. Just a minute.
Yes,
Just a
exactly
minute.
in the footer. I think you've been there.
Yes.
The last one. Yes.
Okay. Okay, thank you. Good morning, everybody. My name is Rania Nedi. I'm the head of the SMEs department. Let me walk you through the Federation. At the beginning, the Federation of Egyptian Industries is delighted to be part of this successful series of events. And I think that hosting such event is like very beneficial, that we showcase the Egyptian ecosystem, the opportunities that the SMEs can benefit from it. Let me at the start walk you through the Federation. The Federation is one of the largest employer organization comprising of 19 chambers. They are industrial chamber, as you see. It's represent like 170,000 industrial enterprise, and consist 90% of them belongs to the private sector, and also they are SMEs. FEI account for more than 8 million workers and 20% of the national economy. In a nutshell, FEI structure consists. We are established from long time, 1922, and then become a presidential decree in 1958, and it organized the work and established the industrial chambers and all of this. And as we have moved from the state-owned industries into more private sector, so this new configuration of the FEI members required also a new legislation or a new composition of the FEI. So in 2019, we issued the law number 70. This law, I think we have two pillars in this law. The first thing, that we become more independent from the state, and the other thing, we introduce the SMEs to be as a pillar or a part of the General Assembly of the chambers of the Federation. The industrial chambers consist of 19, like what I said. They are very active. They are very well connected to their members, and they provide to them technical assistance and enhance their growth. As I said, if we can imagine the FEI is the management, and the industrial chamber are the technical arms of the Federation. The FEI objective, we consider ourselves the voice of the industry, advocates for the industry, and as an employer organization. We participate actively in the formulation of the policies with the government and legislative institutions. Our role is to raise awareness of the environmental compliance, sustainable development, and promote the economic development by advantage the use of clean and innovative technologies. Of course, to do that, we try to approach or become near to our members, so through establishing branches and units to assist the companies and provide service. We provide service to our members and consultancy service to raise their competitiveness. This is, in a nutshell, also the geographical coverage in Alexandria, Damietta, 6th of October. All of this are, they have an industrial zone, so we are become more like attached to our members. The FEI has developed number of units, all those units to help our members. Social responsibility, for example, it's raising the awareness of the principles and practice of the corporate community responsibility and provided corporate initiatives related to development of Egyptian society. The advocacy unit, its role is to analyze the burden and challenges faced by the industry. And the most important things is drafting the reform agenda to promote industrial growth. What's the reform agenda? It's like, what's the obstacle that the industry faces and what is required from every ministry, and how, and we propose legislative amendments and so. Business Development Center, Service Center, the PDS, it provides the training and the capacity and the consultancy for its members, for our members. A one-stop shop also, it works at providing service to the industry under one roof, industrial registry, license to local content, and commercial registry and tax cards. And labor unit also assists company to comply with the national labor legislation and international also standards. The Women in Business Unit and Human Resources Academy, it ensures greater participation of women in the field of business and coordination at the national level for the women entrepreneurs. And the HRA, which the Human Resources Academy, train the manager and the HR department on the foundation and HR management. And at the end, the SMEs unit, which is I direct. This is we consider ourselves like we try to work more closely with the SMEs for formulating the policies and make more conducive business environment for them. We provide training. We work with the donors, international donors, closely to provide them training and raise their capacity. And the most important, and this is we consider this unique in the federation, that we try to even approach business which is informal, although all the FEI is all the members supposed to be formal, but we try to approach not informal businesses to try to provide them services so they come to be under the umbrella of being formal and the federation. FEI previous experience, we have previous experience with working with different donors, and FEI has alliance, trying to assist companies to become more aligned with the SDGs, and it focuses on sustainability, innovation, and inclusive growth. We have number of projects. This is example of them. DICE project, which was under the British Council. We trained 100 SMEs of sustainable business model and green accelerator to support the green startups and focusing on women, disabled, and groups at risk. Build a platform for creative entrepreneur, and training platform delivered online session and expert panels. And Cluster for Green, it was financed by the EU, and it designed a cluster economy program, train SMEs, and build investment alliance. And at the end, we're now working with the GIZ in a program to enhance dual system training and develop green jobs for women. Let me tell you now how we are going to intervene on this on this event. In the beginning, we are going to arrange or try to assess. We will assist in the organization of the event, but the most important part, or we think our intervention, will be on the cluster, the selection of the clusters, and the introduction or the exchange of experience with the FEI expert. In the second day, we are going to visit one of our incubators. This incubator is focusing on innovation and green economy, and we will visit them. Till now, I cannot say the name because we didn't settle the dates and so, but we will send later who will be the incubator. In the last day, we are going to visit the FEI, the federation premises. We will be inviting all our mentors and the big the industry, especially in the sectors that will be covered, to exchange experience, to give them their knowledge, give them their feedbacks and even their problems and so. And at the end, also, we will go to other incubator and accelerator, also to have the ecosystem, to have the sense of the ecosystem and showcase different cases and have a showcase of different cases. And in the first day, of course, the matchmaking, we will introduce some of our SMEs to be part, and SMEs also under the umbrella of other Egyptian incubators to be part of the matchmaking. This is in summary what we are going to do. We're happy to receive any questions. We're happy to assist in everything. And thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Rania, for this overview of the Federation and your activities. And thank you for the facilitation and the support of all activities that we are jointly planning. Of course, there will be more information coming during the next coming days, as every one of the presenters, speakers today, they're welcoming if you have some questions. I've seen one question earlier, whether there will be a connection with construction industries, but of course, the colleagues from the Anima Investment Network, together with the Federation of Egyptian Industries, they will connect you with all possible construction clusters. And as well, you've seen the presentation earlier for the Expo. All big names are already there, so you will have really an opportunity to meet with the key participants at that sector. We are a bit over the time set for this webinar. So I would like to thank everyone who has been part of the webinar. Please follow us if you haven't applied for the event and you feel that this would be beneficial for your cluster and the members. Take the opportunity to apply under the open call. And for all those that are already part of the event, we are really looking forward to a very productive matchmaking mission, and I would like to thank all partners for the presentations today, and really wishing you a nice day ahead and preparation for the successful mission. Thank you very much, and with this we are closing the webinar. Thank you.